coming at you with the last and final edition of this account comparison little mini series. So this one is going to be the baby account, kind of in that mid-game, I guess, kind of level. Um, First we will start off looking at the account power. So sitting over here, we are at 1.2 million. Roughly about 4 million less than Dracarys and roughly about 8 million less than Khaleesi. Looking at the activity level for this account, we are coming up on just about 136 days. Literally a 10% of what Khaleesi's been playing at 1,000, and I think Dracarys was a little over 700. Again, about a year and a half behind on Dracarys. So just kind of looking at that, where kind of things are. As far as the challenge tiers, I am kind of working my way through them. I'm either at the second to last or last one for my level, and just kind of going through that. With this one, I can use the symbiotes there. So just kind of going in. And that's where those mostly are. Um, as we're looking at that, I think that is probably the best way to farm resources on a more regular basis, as stuff like these events, don't come around all that often. I actually don't even know. MiniKhal was able to two-star this first event way back when. I don't know that, I guess I technically have characters that I can try it in a two-star thing, but, we'll see what happens. Again, that's kind of really not a priority with me. Looking here in the arena, MiniKhal is doing much better in the arena just because of the arena shard he's in, and consistently pretty much stays under the 50 mark, which has really helped with power cores. As we're looking here into the account, there aren't going to be any of those. I don't really want to call them mistakes, but essentially there aren't really any of those characters that were built up because they were once really powerful and now they really aren't. And just the reasoning behind that is because Mini is such a new account. So as of right now, I really only have a few teams that are actually even kind of worth mentioning. I've got my symbiotes, my Pimtech, and my AIM team working on my Asgardians, and I eventually will bring Hela up. But aside from those, 3.5 teams, really I don't have too much going as far as power wise. Once we kind of get past the things I have favorited, um, after this first two rows, everything else kind of just drops off. And the reasoning behind that is because I don't want to stretch myself too thin with my resources, and I really try to focus on one character before moving on to another, and that way I don't really ever find myself short any of the T2s or T3s. T4s are basically, I think, always going to be short once you start using them. But so currently, what I'm doing on MiniKhal, again, a very similar philosophy that I follow through on pretty much all three accounts. So the first thing I do is I look for a hero character that's going to be in a hero node, and I farm their shards. Next, I then try to pick out a villain, which that's actually not Scientist Supreme. It's going to be Aim Security. And so next I picked out a villain and I farm their shards. And then I pick out two luxuries that I don't necessarily I maybe not need so much or, whatever. In Mini's case, I'm only doing one luxury at the moment, just because I am more focused on gear, and that luxury character right now is Scientist Supreme. So what I'll do is when I go in and I log in and I start my dailies, I do, all five of Captain Marvel, all five of Scientist Supreme, five of AIM Security. Once that is done, I then am going in and I am farming any orange gear that I can on my Pimtech team. And then once I've farmed all of the orange gear that I can, and pretty much that's only going to be for Ant-Man at the moment because he's the only one that is not at 14 amongst these top between Ghost, Yellow Jacket, and himself. So I try to farm Ant-Man's gear to 14 and then or to 13 rather. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Dracarys. So I'm working on getting my Pimtech team to 13 so I can then take them to 14. So what I'm actually working on, I'm actually not working on Ant-Man at the moment at all. I am working on Stature and Wasp are the two that I'm working on. So basically, once I go through my energy for Captain Marvel, Scientist Supreme, and Aim Security, all of my energy goes to Stature. Once I can no longer farm any of Stature's stuff, I then switch on over to Wasp. At that point, I'm pretty much done by the day as far as energy. But if I do have any additional leftover energy, I'm currently working on Hela. And so, what I'm doing is while I am leveling my Pimtech team, I'm not really worried about other characters and their abilities or anything like that. And the reasoning behind that is in order to level up a character, you obviously need the training mats, and I am at a very premium for training mats right now. As you see, I only have two. So I'm not going to try to level up other characters because that would take away from the training mats for my other characters like that I'm actually currently working on. So because of that, you'll look and let's just pick a random character. We'll go in with Gamora. I've got 1,600 T1s, and I've got almost 3,000 T2s, and I've got almost 6,000 T3s. And that's because I'm just not spreading my resources too thin. It could probably, help maybe a little bit in Blitz, but not all that much. You're going to score more points in Blitz with the higher powered teams. So, if you're able to have three or four high powered teams versus 10 mid power teams, those four high powered teams are going to get you a lot more points than those 10 mid powered. So it's just kind of about, prioritizing, I guess, what you want to focus on. Ultimately, they are your resources, and you need to kind of, I guess, best decide what style of gameplay works for you. For myself, I find kind of like a focused fire really helps. Um, so we'll just kind of scroll through, just show off. There are really no characters that I would change anything on at the moment. Everyone is kind of where I would like them to be. I've been very focused on the Dark Dimension campaigns and kind of getting geared for those. I think I'm getting to the point where once I at least have the beginnings of a Dark Dimension 3 team, I'm going to start focusing a little bit more on completing some more of those challenges, as well as just building my roster overall. But so that is where a mini call is. Hopefully, y'all have found this little kind of account comparison mini series, I guess, kind of helpful. Really just shows kind of a big difference from 1,000 days to 700 days to just under 150. So hopefully you found this little mini edition kind of helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as always, if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, please feel free to let me know. And feel free to reach out to me on Discord or in game at any of the accounts. And again, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.